Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Property Talks Thailand, where we talk all things real estate. I'm Pinky, and I will be your host for the day. Today, we're joined by two very special guests, the founder and co-founder of Roof21. Welcome to the show, Mika and Marek.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
So, who is the founder? Who is the co-founder?
Well,
Founder, co-founder, or founder and co-founder, or co-founder, and founder? Okay, we get it later. Okay.
what are some of the regrets that you had when you first started in this business?
Well, I would say I wouldn't state it as regrets. I would say it's like a lot of learnings. Because if I was in the same situation as we were when we started, I would probably do everything the same way as we did it, with all the mistakes, with everything, because we were at that moment at the time,
Like a learning
certain way,
process,
and
yeah.
it was a learning process. So there were many things that we needed to learn, we needed to change, we needed to set for the company, and it was really not easy. But I would say like a lot of learnings.
Or sometimes we learn it the hard way, but yeah, we wouldn't do something different if we have to do all over again. Yeah.
I guess real estate is a bit like a hectic world, so there is a lot of learning and improving as you go, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you have to always adapt to the world because the world is changing so fast, towards the digital, towards the AI. So you have to adapt.
So there are a lot of struggles in this market. What would you say was one of the struggles that you yourself personally faced when you first started?
Oh, how much time we have? It was so many like this. Starting with like not having the proper office, we were working from the Starbucks for almost half a year until we found some of our first offices. Until choosing the wrong coworkers and choosing the wrong partners and not having like properly set some things and so on and so on. So it was quite bumpy for us, especially because when we started right after 1 year, right, the COVID hit. So
Yeah.
that was a really hard time for us. It cost us a lot of money and effort to keep the company during the COVID. But somehow we made it, and I still consider that as one of our biggest successes, actually.
It definitely is. If you've gone through COVID and you guys are still standing here making it so big and strong in the world, that is definitely a big hit.
Thank you.
What was one of the most daunting aspect of when you yourself had to build a network in the real estate industry here in Pattaya?
For me, I feel like it's not really something that is so difficult for me because I can see myself as I'm a people person, so I like to get to know new people. I always excited to meet new clients, new buyers, investor who we have chances to get to know them really. So for me, it's something that is excite me and it's make me feel like I'm learning new things from new people.
I would say she's addicted to learning. So I cannot even count so many of the courses and all of the certificates that she got. So making the network for her was really easy. For me, it's something that is really like not my nature, and getting into this area, I have to really step out of my comfort zone and getting to know new people. This is so much harder for
I
me.
guess you could see the difference. Like there's an introvert and extrovert in the duo.
I,
But
I do care when it comes to my alone time. I find out that I'm actually extrovert, but also the introvert.
so an ambivert.
Exactly. So for me, I have no problem to to know new people. Like no problem. But when it comes to my alone time, I value it a lot. So yeah.
I mean, of course, like if you're running a business, you do need your alone time. It does get very hectic.
Exactly.
So, would you say that there are some ineffective ways of generating leads for the company? Were there times when you had the struggle of like, oh, we do not have enough leads, or how did you guys get through it?
Oh, absolutely. Like at the beginning, when we started, we were just focusing on too many channels
Yeah.
and too wide and not being like targeted. So that was really something that was one of the big mistakes what we did. Then we were like narrowing it down to some certain areas. If it is like I don't know, it's not necessarily just the leads, but it's also like the listings. So you have to be expert in some area. And for example, we were trying to offer like everything that is on the market, commercial, residential, everything. And that was really something that I would, if I had the chance, I would like to change in the past and do it like more narrow.
To add more from that is that I think we do not have the experience where we don't have anyone to talk to, because it's come back to as the Pattaya city is the city where there is like high seasons, low seasons, and seasonal things, right? But most of the agents that I met, some of them just only focus on buyers. So I always train our team that your customer is not just the buyer. If I'm a seller, you have to tell me like, why do I have to work with you? Like, why do I put my listing with you? Are you expert? Do you be able to sell my property? So actually the seller self is your customer. So I know in Thailand it's not very common where you are buyer agents or seller agent. You kind of work for both parties and make sure that they come to agreement where it's both in the win-win situation and they both are happy and feel comfortable to go on with transactions. However, if you feel like that the buyer is just the only leads for you, then you will stuck, because there will come to the time in the seasonal time, like low season, where you should be focusing on the good quality listing. Why your listing have to be better than the others, or work with your seller, come to the sales strategies, or sit down with them and make it like a proper plan to help them. So I don't think we have that experience where we don't have any leads or people to talk, like never.
And I mean also like it took us a lot of time to learn to say no.
Yeah.
That's like the hardest thing.
That's really hard, because if someone comes, hey, I have a house, I have this condo, I want to sell it. We were trying to sell anything, even though like deep down we know it's not that like high quality, the price is off and so on and so, but we are trying hard. Right now we have no problem to say to seller, no, I'm sorry, we cannot do this. If this and this will not change, then we cannot sell this property. Also to some buyers are really super difficult. So you have to learn to say like, no, I'm sorry, we cannot do this.
It have to be based on the realistic, based on the market. You cannot just like, if anyone want to list something that is impossible to buy, or they want to buy something that is not exist there, then you basically waste your customer time and also your own time. So,
Especially
it's come
your
back.
own time.
Exactly. So like you have to come back to do the deep work, basically. Yeah.
So it seems like you guys have like narrowed down your expertise and only focusing on what you guys are trying to market to your own audience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, like, I mean, when I say saying no, it's also regarding not just buyers, sellers, but also the developers that we
Of
work
course.
with.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, yeah. Like you have to choose.
Choose your
Yeah.
partners very wisely and spend a lot of
That's
time
definitely important.
in like choosing your partners.
Yeah. Do you think there has been like any time when you felt lost while talking to a client or a developer?
Oh, all the time, even now.
How do you mean by that?
Well, I feel lost like basically almost every week. So it's nothing that is unusual. But I mean, like, there are two ways of feeling lost, you know. One is that you feel lost and you get deep down in it and you feel like even lower and lower and lower and you don't do anything with it. And then it's like feeling lost and trying to find a way out, you know. And that I think is just like pushing you forward when you're trying to find the way and when you're trying to improve the things. Like always, that is something we always say to our team, like when they close a deal and our one-to-ones with them, we are always talking about like the good deals and the bad deals and or good experience, bad experience. And we know always try to know like why this was a good deal. What did you do specifically that
What did
this
you
was,
learn?
what did you learn from it and how we'll leverage it next time? Or why this deal failed, what did you do wrong and how we can improve it for the next time. That's always at our one-to-ones, and we are always talking with the sales team in this way and trying to find a way. Sometimes you do everything correctly, and you cannot find the way, like why the deal failed. But that's like natural. That
It's
there are
part
also some other factors that you cannot
control.
control. Yes, but this is life.
Yeah, so it seems like you guys do have like a pretty positive note on everything, not focusing on the negative and trying to also lift off your team and like trying to help them through the process if it does ever occur to them.
For me, I feel like the mistake should not happen twice. If it's like something that we can control from our own side, like you have to be able to learn from it. But if you keep the mistake happening, it means like you didn't learn anything from it and you just keep repeating the same mistake. So it's okay to make mistake. I have no problem if the team make mistake or even for us. As long as we know that we can learn from it, we be able to fix it. We will not let that happen again. Or same goes with every deal. It just every transaction is teaching all the difference. Like
Yeah, I understand. So you guys have like great tips and motivate your team. What do you think there are some actionable steps that new agents could take when they are trying to expand their network themselves?
be a learner.
Yes.
Be a very,
Exactly.
very, very, very big learner, and it's like you're opening the shop.
Yeah.
And if people doesn't know that what product you're selling, is basically you are shutting the door. Like for Thai people especially, I feel like we are so worried about what our friends will think, what our family will think, because for like when you're talking about being agents, it's giving more negativities as like more than positive, because we still don't understand truly the meaning behind it. But in in another country, in the international world, when you're talking about I have my agents, it's like you are in the trusted hand. You are with the consultations. You're with the expert who will minimize your risk, and they are there for a reason. They are there to protect your
I understand.
your benefits. So I feel like for being a new agent, you need to get yourself out there. You need to be a learner, a big part. Like you have to always be addicted to learn new things, to get yourself out there and don't be in the shell, because no one will know what you're up to. The
Yeah.
world is changing.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Like the willingness to learn new things and step out of your comfort zone, that is something that you just must do, and you have to adapt. You have to adapt to the situation. You have to adapt really fast, because not every deal is the same, and no one will give you the exact like silver bullet that like this will work every time, because each person is different. So you can do the same tactics and same approach to your customers. It will not work with everyone. You need to be really good at reading the people, and also like understand the psychology and so on and so on. So I mean, learning, and you have to be expert, and you have to win the trust of your customer. Either if it is like seller or buyer, you need to gain the trust.
I think trust is like the most important factor in all
One of the
it.
most important factor.
Exactly.
Not just that. To add more to that is that you need to know what you are doing. You need to know You need to know. You need to know fully what you're becoming.
You need to be expert.
You need to be a real expert. Yeah.
It's like you need to understand the situation. You need to understand yourself before you can actually go ahead with something.
Don't be just the door opener.
Yeah.
Just like open the door. This is the condo you want to book. You need to know why you are showing this condo to the customer. Would you buy it for yourself if you were in the situation? You must get as much information about the customer as possible. If it is not possible, the customer is not opening, it must come from you. So you know why you are showing this product, you know why you are showing this specific property, and why is it good. And this is something that you need to get to you have to get the message out. Like, why is this the good one?
It's like you have to like be in their shoes to kind of understand their situation and explain to them.
Yes. And if this is not possible, then you have to be on the side of the let's say seller or developer and understand why this is good.
Of course. Is it better to have an online presence, or in reality you have to be out there in person, attend those conferences, attend those meetings?
Both.
Exactly. It must be balanced.
Cannot, like when we were starting some of our very first video, I would be standing there still and freeze, because it's really not my thing. I'm coming from the area when I just go there, meet my client, do what I'm good at, and then that would be it. But then when it's coming to today's world, when we see all the everyone is going out there doing the presentation online, have a conversation online, and all of this thing, you have to adapt. You have to go out there. People have to know what you are doing. And it's okay that if you're scared, you worry. However, you can keep on trying.
Yeah, I mean, like the online and the real world must be in balance. You cannot do just one or the other one. For example, you cannot find a good listing just sitting at the computer and trying to find it. You must go out there and try to find like the people who are selling. With the buyers, it is the same. Sometimes, like I would say, like more than half of our buyers are referrals from our past clients or from our network and so on and so on. So it's representing a huge amount of our revenue and our leads. So you must do both. You must do both. In this world, you must do both. You cannot do just digital, because that is impossible. You cannot sell property or find the property to sell just from the computer, behind your computer, because this is very much like emotional business. And actually trying to find the property online as a buyer, I would say it's really difficult because today the most crappy house that you can find on the market, we can do such nice pictures of this property and sell it like how wonderful it is with all the AI and all the tools you have right now.
It's a
It
bit
can look
crazy.
fantastic.
Yeah.
On the other hand, like if you find some like, for example, direct owner listing that is selling the house and he just make the pictures with the phone that the one is like this, one is like that, another one is totally dark, but when you come there and the property looks like fantastic and it's like beautiful,
Yeah.
so it's really
Yeah.
hard.
It's like
really
sometimes
hard.
people don't have access to the tools.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And you have to use all of these tools, but like again, like finding the property online to buy today is really difficult for the buyer, I think, because you might miss the good ones just because of this, that someone puts a wrong picture there as a title picture, and then on the other hand, you might find something that in reality looks really bad, but it's fantastically presented online.
Yeah.
So you have to balance it. You have to balance it, and you need to have a trusted agent that will tell you what is the status of the property, how it
Yeah.
is really, and what to expect. Because this is the worst thing when you go with someone to see a property and you say how gorgeous it is and how wonderful it is, and they come there and they see half broken house, then you will not get the trust. But if you tell them, hey, it needs some renovation, maybe this and this and this and this is not proper
Yeah.
there, but the price is fantastic for this area and for this location, so you must be the expert, you know.
Yeah. So you have to be out there. You have to let them know.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense.
And
Yeah.
course,
maybe
yeah.
I would add another thing to this, is that as like the agents should really watch out to show something that they never saw before. It happens here in the city so many times that the people come there the first time with the client, which is the worst that you can do.
Oh yeah, you need to know your products. You need to like when I say you need to know, like you need to really know what you are presenting. You need to know the history of the property. You need to know why is the owner is selling, or you need to know, not just opening the door like what you mentioned earlier, and you doesn't know anything, or you see the property for the first time ever in your life. You doesn't do your homework. You doesn't prepare
Yeah,
anything.
do your homework.
For me, that's not really professional, because it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I understand. Because in a
Yeah.
sense, if you don't know your own property, then
Yeah.
you don't know what you're selling.
Yeah, and it
And-
should not even be listed in
Yeah.
your database.
Because you can't really sell something that you don't know.
Yeah.
What would you say are some common mistakes new agents make regarding money? Like new business owners in real estate?
I think not realizing how expensive it is to run the company. That is the common mistake, because everyone thinks just like, oh, let's start a property, we'll just sell something, we make huge money, and so on and so on. But like you don't have the idea how expensive it is to run the company, and how expensive it is to run the marketing, and especially when you are in the markets like this one, like Pattaya, where there is hundreds of agents,
A lot of competitors.
a lot of competitors.
Yeah.
The marketing is super expensive. To find good co-workers and good employees and good people who you want to work with, it's super hard. Then also like just the common things like to have an office and to like build the office and so on and so on. So I mean like I would say like to even make a business plan for this, it's really hard because you cannot know all of these things upfront. If I knew it all upfront, I would probably not start the company, and I will just like find a job at some other company, because sometimes it's really crazy.
Yeah, I understand because there might be some like stuff that you have to purchase every now and then that you didn't like initially think of, but with some sudden you have to do that. So the cost does add up.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want to have like high quality people in your company, then like you have to like provide good conditions that are like at least at the market standard or above. I would say above, and also like the conditions and so on, and the workplace to be like pleasant for the people, and so on and so on. Sometimes you have to be the life coach. Sometimes you have to be the psychologist.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to be like I don't know, marketing expert, up to like I don't know. Furniture mover and cleaner.
I mean,
So,
it seems like you guys do almost everything in-house. You guys have cleaners, you have pickup service for your clients. You guys have almost everything here
Yeah.
in your office.
yeah, Roof21, everything under one roof. We are trying to do everything in-house. Marketing wise, I don't know, like everything. We try to always adapt to the client needs, and many clients need like cleaning service, pick up from the airport, drive somewhere, book a restaurant. I don't know. We do so many things outside of the property business.
Yeah.
It's even too much. I would say some clients even take advantage of that, but we are glad to do it for them, and that is something that is differentiating us from other companies. And regarding the mistakes that we did, that is so many, and especially with the translations and the communication, someone understands something differently than the other person, and so on and so on, and then it gets a little bit like a snowball.
Yeah, the language barrier is
And I would
quite
say, like, if you have one mistake in a deal or something goes wrong,
yeah.
then everything goes wrong. And from the beginning until the end, everything goes wrong. Then
Can you share a story of a communication error that you faced with a client, and how did you learn from that experience?
well, I can remember one recent deal that we had. It was our buyer, and the seller was represented by another agency. We work with a
Yeah.
long time. They are really fantastic, very good partner. But somehow it happened that our buyer was already on the plane on the way to Thailand, and the seller somehow probably forgot or didn't say that he can move out only like 3 weeks after. Which was really like amazing. But I mean, we fix everything. So first we booked the hotel for our buyer, and we paid for the hotel. Then we moved him to another condo that was just like free. Of course, it was like higher standard than what he bought. He was absolutely amazing, understood everything. Then we did the transfer of the property earlier than what the seller actually wanted, and then we swapped them, and we put the seller to the nicer condo. So we stayed there until the end when he's flying out of the country. So like these kind of things happen, and as I mentioned earlier, you just have to adapt and fix one by one. So I think we did also together with the partner, with the partner agency, we did a lot of communication, a lot of like talking on the phone, how we will fix it.
This is
And we-
this is one of our agent case, and we have
Yeah.
to help her out with all the solutions, and we will try our very best to make sure that both party were happy, you know.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Yeah, so it wasn't like you guys were just fixated on your client, but you guys were trying to make sure that both the parties were
Exactly,
happy.
And we,
exactly.
we are
That is
very,
good.
very grateful because our agent partner, he's also very professional. He's also like, we
Yeah.
are trying to make everything smooth as possible.
This is when we
Yeah.
come back to this, like you have to choose your partners really wisely. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I think we would not fix this deal and it would be a nightmare, really. But like everything in the end happened really smoothly, although like there were some of these problems. But I mean, like
hiccups.
that's our job. Like something like this happens, and you have to fix it.
But that's great because, like, you guys fixed the problem and, like, with great partnership, you guys ended up making a very successful deal.
He was really
Close,
happy.
yeah.
Both of the side was really happy. Yeah.
That's great. With the clients that you've had in the past, would you say that building trust and rapport with your clients is hard, or what are some tips that you would give or would have preferred were given to you when you first started?
But without trust, you cannot go forward in anywhere. So if you don't understand your client, I wouldn't want. If I'm a buyer, I wouldn't want to work with you if I cannot trust you. Not only that I trust you, but you also need to understand your customer. You need to know basically almost everything about them. What is their lifestyle? What did they value the most? What will be? What are they looking for in working with the real estate professionals when it comes to purchasing a property?
Right?
What is the most valued things that they are looking for when working with one? So I feel like not only to trust the person, understand the person, you need to really, like, back to the basic, you need to know what you are doing. You need to really understand all the process and
Yeah.
not just act like you understand. You do understand.
Yeah.
And they feel that they trust that they can go a long way to the very end with you.
Because as a customer, if you're buying something that big of an amount, then you need to trust the person that you're working with. Because if there's no trust, then you can't really go forward, right?
No.
Exactly, and sometimes it's hard to get the buyer to open to you because many times they don't know you. We are not working like, for example, in the US that you have a long-term relationship with your agent and you bought like several houses or condos with them and sold with them and so on and so on. So over here it's absolutely different. Many people come here just for a holiday, short term. So like, it's hard sometimes to get to the people, but you have to try. On the other hand, like if this is not possible, then you have to become the expert on like the product that you are selling. You have to know it upside down. You have to know every single detail about the location. You have to know like really everything, and know why you are offering this to the client. Like, why is it so good? Why are you convinced that you would buy it for yourself?
Of course. Of course. So you have to trust in your own product first.
Exactly.
That's, I think, one of like the common mistakes that a lot of new agents make when they first start out.
They want to list everything.
Yeah.
They want to put everything out there, and they don't understand
Yeah.
their own listing.
Right.
They don't know where it is. So basically they just put it out there and try to fishing,
Right.
which is that is the most mistake that I saw. And you do not do that. Yeah.
What are some key approaches that you think new agents should avoid when they're first starting out in this business? Because I think it is a bit confusing when you're first starting out and you don't know what to do, right?
Well, I think we were already touching this, and I mean, it's like doing everything
Yeah.
and nothing properly.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
Yes.
Could you elaborate that a bit?
So, for example, like as we were doing the same mistake in the past until we find out and we found our way how to do it. So, like for example, putting all the listings that you find, not like really doing the analysis of the listing and just like put it out and maybe someone will call you. No, you have to know exactly why you are selling this and what you are selling.
Who you are
So-
selling to? Who
And
is the
yeah, and
buyer?
who you are selling it to, and what will be the buyer and why, and yeah, and when it is not possible, when you see some obstacles or like some like I don't know something that is wrong with the property, just
Yeah.
like, and if the seller doesn't want to listen, then say no, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that when they first start out in real estate, they need to know their listing, they need to go out there, learn more, and try to understand clients before they push something that they themselves don't understand.
Exactly, absolutely. You have to
Very
be
well
the
said.
expert.
Yeah.
So when you're with clients, how important do you think active listening and asking the right questions really is?
Everything. Because you will only open when that person is listening what is important for you.
Yeah.
I have been experiences where I see the sales is trying to push like desperately to sell or close the transactions. Not with our team, of course, but however, I feel like that is like very such a big mistake because you are not listening to your customer. And you need to communicate with the customer, your clients, what he or she is looking for, what is important. Back to the basic again. Like I wouldn't go forward with someone who I cannot trust because it's everything based on trust. However, I see so many real estate agents, it's just pushing and pushing and pushing and just say like how wonderful everything are. And they're not listening to their own customer, which is like
Say yes to everything.
say yes to everything. I have one of the experiences case where the customer was he's from New Zealand,
Yeah.
and he living in Asia. And I remember that he was working with a couple of agents before he met me, and everyone was like, "Yes, you can do this. You can do everything." And I was like, "No, that's not the way. That's not correct, and that's not straightforward. It's not correct. It's not right." And he was like, "You are the only person that is saying to me that is not possible." And I tell him like, "I'm sorry. Yes, of course I would tell you because it's really not possible, and it's basically against the law. It's not straightforward. It's not good for you, and it will be risk for you." So he was like, you like, but everyone wanted to sell me. They say to me, "Yes, it's possible. It's really I can do this." I said no. And I remember in the end he was buying with me
Yeah.
just because he say to me like, "You are the only person who tell me that it's a no." Because everyone just like forced him to like, "Yes, everything okay, everything is fine, everything like it's not."
Yeah, you're being true to your client.
In the end, it's a fact. You're selling the fact. You're not selling a daydream or something that is. I think everything is based on trust. Is everything.
I think trust plays a huge role in real estate.
Definitely.
I think that's like the foundation.
Yeah, especially when you want to be
In everything.
like in the business, when you want to be in the business for a long period of time, then you have to do this, and you cannot be afraid to say no, this is not possible, or like say like no, in front of this building there will be nothing built anymore. Oh, tell them they are building this there, and let the client decide if he wants like for example, the second road from the sea,
Yeah.
or here's the budget to go for the first row, because sometimes the expectations are like unrealistic, and you have to set them like
Yeah, you have to
on-
be honest.
you
to
have to
them.
be you have to be honest, because then in the future they will there will be no like how to say they will be not disappointed, you know, when they know all the information.
I feel like in business, it's not just about buying or selling the property. It's come to the relationship. It come to where, like Marek was saying, like most of our customers actually come from the referrals. Many, like more than 50% are repeated customer or friend or family of, you know, the people who already purchased it with us. And if you are running a company or a business where you feel like you just need to sell property to your client and that's finished of the job, I feel like you're gonna not go anywhere far, because in the end of the day, everything is based on relationship, based on good trust, based on you doing a good service to your clients, and it's not just selling property. It's basically they feel like they can talk with you about what is inside them and they need the help.
Yeah.
That's why they come to you, because they trusted in your advice. They wanted to hear what would be the idea, or you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have to do your homework. You have to do your learning. You just cannot start to be an agent and like just open the door and this is the condo. That's not how it works. Well, in many cases, maybe it will work, but then you are really lucky, and you cannot like repeat it later.
You need to
You
put
need
in
then in that case
effort.
you need a lot of luck.
Yeah.
But if you want to leverage and grow and do it like more times, you need to do your homework. Need to learn more. Education is the basic. You need to know everything, basically.
Well, I think that was all the questions that we had for today. And I'm sure that our audience and I myself learned quite a lot from you two. And honestly, it was really great having you guys come here on the show and give us more insights on real estate, not being afraid to share your side of the story and how you've overcome everything. So thank you so much for coming on the show, and we hope to see you guys again.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Pinky.
Thank you very much.
If you guys like this podcast, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment down below. If there are any topics that you would like for us to talk about on the show, comment down below and we will definitely make a video about it. Thank you, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye-bye.